some classical music to fool the audience into thinking that I am more educated than I actually am. Yes. Perhaps I will fake an accent just to give more mystery to me. Welcome to podcast episode 2. What are we doing? What are we talking about? That's right. Pressure sensitive writing. Hello there, people of the podcast, and welcome. No, you suck, my friend. No, you suck. Longbow. 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 What?
Just calm down, Frolic. It's over. We lost again. Let it go and accept the truth that we is dumb. Dumb as hell.
There we go. Now everybody knows that Longbow stinks. Well done. Lowering the music's background levels is exactly what I should do. For the music should be forefront. My voice should be forefront. Both will have to be disabled. Because we can't be having sound effects during a podcast. So, okay. Last time we talked about bathtubs, and we talked about the first podcast. Let's rewind. Let's start this one over, okay? This isn't even how the podcast starts. Alright? This is how the podcast starts. No, let's do, No, not like that. Come on. Welcome everybody to episode 2 of the podcast. As you can see, we have some things on the screen. Episode 2. We have the sound of fluttering harps in our ears. That leads you to assume that you must have walked into a intellectual podcast, perhaps. Well, I'm so happy to have you here. Now, episode 2, welcome everybody. My name is Commander Scooby, and I will be orchestrating this podcast. Will I have this accent the whole time? Who knows? Perhaps it will change to match the dialect of the region that we are discovering. Now, playing Dance of the Happy Spirits by Christoph Willibald Gluck. Yes, well. In this episode, we'll be discussing new things that we did not discuss last time. Previously on the podcast, we talked about bathtub sizes and why they're not growing. We found the reason why. Someone in the audience perhaps would like to shout it out as I draw on the screen why bathtubs have not increased in size. Nope. The S is the beginning of the reason, but the ultimate reason is money. That's right. Because of money, they won't increase the bathtub sizes. You won't get a few extra inches because money. Meanwhile, the rich fat cats of the world, they get 10-foot bathtubs, and you have to deal with 5. But I digress. That was last week's episode, and while some may say size doesn't matter, some say it does. Now, is that a proper topic for this episode the podcast Does Size Matter? Well, we'll tackle that in another episode. Today's episode is about something entirely different. Today's episode. What is today's episode about? We have options of things to talk about. Dreams. Let's talk about dreams, shall we? Let's have an episode about dreams. Now, there's a shiny thing over the screen that says intermission, please wait. Let's take care of that. Let's take care of that. Shall we? The text will say, podcast. Podcast. There we go. Podcast. Perfect. It fits perfectly over the intermission and the please wait. So that people know they don't have to wait, for the podcast is now, it is live. Yes. So we can get better quality out of this symbol. Oh my. There's no need to wait, for we have a podcast. That's right, this is episode 2 of that podcast. Dreams. Let's talk about dreams. Let's do some research into dreams. What are dreams? Why do we have them? Let's discover together. What is a dream? What is a dream? Let's check our old friend Wikipedia here. Let's get that big eye. A dream is a succession of images, ideas, emotions, and sensations that usually occur involuntarily in the mind during certain stages of sleep. The content and function of dreams are not fully understood, although they have been a topic of scientific, philosophical, and religious interest throughout recorded history. Dream interpretation is the attempt at drawing meaning from dreams and searching for an underlying message. The scientific study of dreams is called oneirology. Let's find out how to say that word correctly. Oneirology. Yes. That's the study into dreams. Very important. I find dreams to be fascinating. Dreams are like, during the day we have daydreams. We think about things. We put ourselves in situations. We think, how am I going to play this out? And everybody has different ways that their mind works. But the dreams seem to be the next step of daydreaming. It's letting that subconscious completely take over. You're gone. Subconscious is checking in. So, as we talk about dreams and what dreams are, tell me some of your dreams. Tell me some of your wildest dreams. I've had some dreams. In my dreams growing up, I would always die. I die in my dreams, and then I keep dreaming. Too often in media, they show people dreaming and they die, and then they wake up, or they fall off a building right before they hit the ground, they wake up. In my dreams, I would always hit the ground, and I keep dreaming. It was like, I guess, growing up playing video games, maybe my subconscious thought it's like extra lives. And so, when I dream, I die. I lost a life, but the dream kept going. I never knew how many lives I got. Now, I do remember growing up, and I had some weird things in my dreams, but one thing that always stands out was every time I would die, I'd go to the same place. And I hope one day I can properly animate this, but I just remember it was a jello-y like room. Something in my subconscious, maybe playing Zelda, maybe Ocarina of Time, when you're with Zoras and you're inside the fish guy and all the walls are like jello fish guts. That's what I always felt like I was in. And every time I would have a dream and I would die, I would show up in this room. This is little Commander Scooby here. And I'd show up in this room and there'd be this giant like Tron face. And it would tell me the same thing every time. Every time I would die, I would show up in this place, and this scary, jello-y Tron face would say, like, you have failed. You lost. You need to restart and do it again. And then I would wake up. It's very strange. Not sure why, but I would die so many times. I remember I feel pain in my dreams. Like, your first falling dream was when you were weak. Hello there, Science Cube, and welcome, my friend. I noticed that when you dream, the dream becomes too annoying. Recognize the annoyance and force yourself to wake up from out of it. Interesting. Science Cube, hello. We're talking about dreams. Now, that was one time I remember that I was able to wake myself up from a dream. You can't go back that far. Thank you. Thank you, Science Cube. A quality podcast logo we have up here. We don't want people to think it's an intermission. This is a podcast. Okay? So, how can we better access our dreams? Can you train lucid dreaming? Yes, you can. There are certain things you can train your body to be able to lucid dream easier. And I've read up on those, and some of those include, it's very strange, some interesting things. Something is like, one thing I read is you have to look at your hand a lot during the day. You look at your hand, and you tell yourself, this is not a dream. Am I dreaming right now? No, this is not a dream. If you do those multiple times a day, it trains your subconscious to do the same thing when you're dreaming. So if you're looking at your hand several times a day and you're going, am I dreaming right now? No, I'm not dreaming. It will hopefully train yourself in your dream to look at your hand and ask the same questions. So looking at your hand is one thing. So there's other ways you can bring on lucid dreaming. Some, I'm not going to recommend. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but that's, we got pills, you could take medicine and stuff. Some people name, but that's not the way to do it. So like 2 nights ago, you had a somewhat painful dream. You angered someone who injects people with a syringe to mind control them. As soon as he could, he stabbed you multiple times in the palm of your hand. Interesting. So one way is to look at your hand and shoot laser beams at it. No, just look at your hand daily. Say, yes, I am not in a dream right now. This is my hand. And you can ask yourself, hopefully, that question in your subconscious. Now, I've heard so many great stories about people that can take advantage of lucid dreaming. People that are able to control their dreams, fly around, do crazy things. And I've so rarely been able to do that. Now, another interesting thing is how dreams can change into nightmares. Or a nightmare can change into a dream. They both happen. I think we've all had dreams where it just kind of segues into a nightmare, and you're just like, well, this is it now. This was a dream. Now it's a nightmare. Like, you tried to take down this evildoer, and I salute you for it. That's me saluting you. Wow. Salutations. What is a nightmare really? How is it different from a lousy dream? That's an excellent question. To me, a nightmare, you feel it. It's a sense of dread, darkness. It's something you can't escape from either, a nightmare. It's like when you have a nightmare and there's like a big house. Oops. And there's ghosts in that house. And it's like a mansion. And in the dream, you have to go in there. In the nightmare, excuse me. It's silly. There's no part in the nightmare that you're able to turn around and go, no, I'm not going in that house. There's ghosts in there. I know there's ghosts in there. A fear of mine growing up in dreams would be darkness. Just having pure blackness would be a scary thing. Because you don't know what's in the darkness. You know, it could be ghosts or skeletons. Skeletons used to frighten me when I was young. And so, Lombo's saying a nightmare is after the fact. You know it's a nightmare. After you wake up, that's when you know it's a nightmare. But see, sometimes my nightmares just keep going. I also think it's interesting how we accept the world we're born into in a dream. It's funny, that mirrors real life. In real life, we accept the world we're born into. In real life, we accept the world around us that we're born into. You know, the language that you speak, the religion that you follow, you're just born into that world, and that's your world. Dreams are very similar. Dreams are very similar in the sense that once you're in the dream, anything crazy could be happening, and you just accept it. I remember one time I was having a dream where I had Wolverine's abilities, and I could shoot out claws from my hand. But I remember in the dream there was no question of, oh, where's Wolverine? I have Wolverine's abilities. Where's he at? How did I get this? It's just, I just have it. And I remember in the dream having to whoosh, throw my blades out, you know? I really had to, you know. I remember if I just thought to get him out, it wouldn't work in the dream. But if I actually went like, yeah, like I flung him out, then it would work. It would come flying out. So I remember a dream like that, but I don't think I've ever had a lucid dream. I don't think I've ever had a dream where I know I am in control of this dream and I can do whatever I want. And there's people out there that do say they have control of their dreams. They say they can do what they want, but I don't know. You know, you always wonder, are they telling the truth? Can they really? You gotta believe them, right? So we got dreams, which are, you know, clouds. Oops. What did I push? Dang it. Oh my gosh. Alright. So you got dreams. Happy. Awesomeness. You know, there's bears that want to give you hugs. I'm talking about actual bears. And then you got these nightmares where it's bad, you know? And the bear now is chasing you with a knife and wants to eat your brains. You know, so what triggers this? Well, we don't know. Your subconscious does. And I think what's so interesting is that when we dream or when we have nightmares, more often than not, we're just along for the ride. You know, we don't have control. Whatever's happening in the dream, you know, maybe there's an illusion of control. We feel like we have control, but really we don't. We don't have any control over this dream. It is on its own. I wish to have a normal superpower dreams. Mine all have the lame claws. You can shoot web from your wrist like Spider-Man, but you feel it coming out of your wrist, and it hurts. You could fly, but it's only by jumping as hard as you can, only to hold yourself in the air for a few inches off the ground, slowly descending down. It's funny because, yeah, I've been the same way. You know, when you're flying, you're like, how am I flying? and then now you're falling. And it's interesting how a dream, you know, it's not so simple. Like you're saying, if you get superpowers, they don't work right. You know, I think the one we all get used to, the most annoying thing in a dream to happen, is when gravity just doesn't work. Especially when you're running away from something. I just remember like having a dream one time where there was like this witch and she's coming after me, and it was like in my neighborhood, and she's floating above the ground, she's causing chaos, and she's coming after me. And I remember in the dream she was floating above the ground, and I remember I'm down here and I'm trying to run away, but because gravity's not working, I remember in the dream I'm grabbing at little bits of grass to pull myself forward. And I remember there was grass on the ground, and I am ripping at the grass to pull myself forward so I can get away from this witch because gravity is not working. Again. What happened? Why did this turn? That's the wrong one, maybe. That's the right one. So I just remember being in this dream and just trying my damnedest to get away from this evil witch, and I am terrified. And there's nothing I can do. And eventually gravity just stops, and I'm ripping at grass trying to move. You know, it's like, I remember in a dream I got in a fight with someone, and I seemed pretty strong in the dream. Oops. But I remember punching this person was like punching air. Nothing happened. And I remember I'm fighting this person and I'm going to punch their face, and it's just like a pillow. And they are not bothered by it at all. I think that's common in a dream, is like this confusion, this mixture of fantasy and reality where our brain almost doesn't know which to choose. Like, oh, okay, I get it, you could fly. But your brain's going, but you can't fly. What are you doing? You can't fly. So it makes this flying very awkward, where you're hovering off the ground and you're falling back to the ground. Or when I'm trying to get my Wolverine claws out, I really have to put my body into it. That's the only way they're going to come shooting out of my skin. Yeah, so many dreams where you're pulling yourself by your hands. You're on the ground, crawling, trying to get away from what's coming after you. I think what's interesting is the interpretation of dreams. And that's a scary thing, I think, the interpretation of dreams. And I'll tell you why. Because I have a strong feeling a lot of religions branched off weirdly because of interpretations of dreams. You know, or someone saying, you know, if someone has a dream and something that they perceive as God in that dream tells them to burn everything down, and they go, well, God told me to burn everything down, so that's what I did. Well, what if that wasn't God? What if that was just a dream that you've now interpreted to mean mass murder? So dream interpretation can be scary. I think it's interesting. You know, it's like you know, if you're on a cliff in a dream and you have in the dream you fall off, you know, it breaks, and then you go woo, falling down the cliff. Well, you may wake up and say, I have to be careful, I'm going to fall down a cliff. You know, that's a dream telling me the future. I think if anything, it's just good to remember, hey, I should probably be more careful if I'm around cliffs. Maybe just don't, you know, fall off. So dream interpretation is kind of scary. Because, especially if you're a holy leader, or your job is to interpret the God's will, you know, as it were. So if you have a dream and you go to your pastor and you say, Father, I've had this dream many nights where I am fighting people with a sword, but my sword is heavy and I can't hit anybody. And the father says, well, my son, that's probably because God's trying to give you a sign that he doesn't want you to be a warrior. He wants you to be a priest. And it's just a dream. But now this man that was about to go out and be a warrior and save England is now writing books, which is still a noble pursuit, but has entire histories of our life been changed by someone's dream? Very famously, the Mormons. Yep. The Mormons were big into their whole religion started because of a dream. And that's something truly fascinating. An entire religion, according to a man. And remember, the thing about man is he's fallible. Man is not perfect, according to religious. Now, I think man's fantastic. I think he does a great job. He and she. Women, man, humans are great. But my concern is, what was to stop anybody from back in the day just having a dream and then going to the people and saying, in this dream, I was a king. And everybody was happy. And everybody's stomachs were full. So, make me your leader. And you'll be happy too. And it's unfortunate. I mean, because man is fallible. And, I don't know. I don't know what was to stop. So many people did that. Oh, Joseph from the Bible, who was sold by his brothers, not Joseph Smith, the founder of Mormonism. I can't, be sure on your Josephs these days. There's a lot of them. So, I don't know. Man is very gullible, and it's so easy for evil to take over sometimes, especially when you look at the past. I mean, I don't like the way that religion's got now. I'm fine with religion, but it's a weird segue from dreams. Religion, it's too easy to be manipulated with religion these days. It's too easy to tell someone, oh, I'm a Christian, and they believe you, and then they take advantage of you now because you let them in. It's we need to judge people off their actions, not by their words. You can't have someone walk around and go, hey, I'm a God-fearing Christian, and I believe in everybody, treated equal and blah, blah. And then at night they're going and murdering and they're eating people. And then they go to church on Sunday and, look for another target. And everybody says, oh, they're a great Christian. So I think dreams are just that. They're dreams. But I think we should have more research into dreams. Now, another thing that gets us close to dreams, and this is the closest I felt to dreams in real life, and that's VR. When you got a VR headset on, you are in another place. You're in another place, you're doing magical things, and it's incredible. I think VR is the closest we've gotten to imitating dreams, in a way. So, I think if anything, VR might be able to help us access our dreams better. When I was a kid, I used to draw my stick people like that. And it took me forever. I used to draw tripod people. Little pee-pee people. But I think dreams. I think VR is the closest we've gotten to imitating dreams. Let's see. There he goes. VR, right there. So let's talk about biblical Joseph had the stars bowing to the moon, or the wheat bowing, implying that he is superior to his brothers. He pissed them off, and they sold him to some travelers. He ended up in Egypt, where he interpreted the king's dream. A skinny cow ate 7 fat cows, etc. He predicted a great drought. Yeah, and there's been people like that all throughout history that have predicted things to happen, you know? Predicted the end of times. And if they're right, then they're set for life. If they're wrong, they get multiple other chances. There's been so many times of fake, people pretending that they know the future, and then they're wrong, and then they're like, oh, I misread the scripture, my bad. But if they're right, they're going to be like, I told you I was right. It was 7 skinny, ugly cows eating 7 pretty cows. I'd be curious what in his dream made the cows ugly and what made the cows pretty. So, once we understand dreams, I guess the question is, what do we do about it? Because if you want to pursue lucid dreaming, you can. It just takes some effort. So let's pull up some information on lucid dream. How to... Now there's a whole lucid dreaming subreddit out there. Thank you, Light. It's funny how it always takes away that word. But that word is part of someone's name. So, can you control your dreams? Yes. You can. According to all the research that's been done, it is possible to control your dreams. Which... it could take up to years to figure out. One person here recommends literally setting your alarm to 1:30 a.m. Alright? So you're sleeping, your alarm goes off, you wake up, and they recommend being up for like 10 minutes and read a book if you want. Read a book. And then go back to sleep. And your dreams will be more lucid. You'll be able to interact with them. So there's lots of different ways to help with lucid dreaming. That's a simple way. But there's so many other ways to do it. So this person, interesting. So this person says when they're trying to fall asleep, they try to make shapes out of what they see with their eyes closed. You know how blotches of various shades of black kind of swim around when you have your eyes closed. It doesn't always work out, but when it does, a little TV screen of sorts will eventually appear in my mind's eye, usually showing short clips of something. If I maintain focus, it literally becomes a portal into a lucid dream. So, like anything in life, just like working out to gain physical strength, you can work your mind to become stronger for when you're dreaming. Or just becoming stronger normally. And hello, Morji. Good to have you. We're talking about dreams. Any crazy dreams you've had recently? So, there are different options. So, you want to lucid dream. Okay, well, one option is set your alarm clock for 1:30 a.m., let it go off, wake up for about 10 to 15 minutes, read something, and then go back to sleep. Okay? That's one way people say they've been able to control their dreams. Simple. Now, the other way this guy was talking about is as he's falling asleep and his eyes are closed, he's imagining, objects and things. Maybe he's going three-dimensional with them. He's thinking of all these things until, for him at least, his mind puts it all into a TV sort of, and he's able to use that TV to access into his dreams, and he begins lucid dreaming. Okay, that's that guy. That's how he does it. There are ways to help bring you into a lucid dream medically, but I'm not sure if that's a viable method. I don't think we should even list that. I'm talking things like medication, pills. That stuff like that seems like a cheap way to do it, and it also could be deadly. Okay, so I'm not even going to say remember to know. And you don't usually remember your dreams, Morgie. Interesting. See, I always have crazy dreams. Ah, interesting. So, here I'm reading some other people's ways on how they've entered lucid dreaming. This person says they have a kind of a trigger that kicks in when you're dreaming. One is constantly having awake written on your hand. So that's an interesting way. Literally all the time having your hand and you're looking down at it and you've written awake on your hand. And that's one interesting thing. During the day, you're looking at your hand, it says awake. And you get in that habit looking at your hand that says awake. Well, when now you're in your dream and you look at your hand, it doesn't say awake, that's your clue. I'm also very skeptical of lucid dreaming as well, number one. But I've heard so many accounts of it, and yeah, I was not even going to attempt trying to draw a hand. So that's one way to do it. This one, here's an interesting thing. This person says they use what they call the Star Trek Voyager method. They tap the back of their hand whenever they have an odd thought or something odd happens. This habit translates to when I'm asleep and I can figure out I'm in a dream. It's a reality check method. It's just that check of it's the old pinch yourself thing. If we pinched ourselves all the time, every day, is this a dream? Ow. No, it's not a dream. I'm awake. So can we translate that and make that habitual to do that all the time? So one way is the classic just pinching yourself. Ow. Alright? So that's one possibility of getting into lucid dreaming. Let's see if we have any other kind of suggestions. That's a good one. But this takes time. You know, there's so many techniques you can look up online of different people. Interesting. This person says once they are able to lucid dream, the excitement of lucid dreaming wakes them up. So they said they have to focus when they're in the dream. They said it helps to focus just by rubbing their hands together, spinning in circles, or just literally saying out loud, focus, focus, focus. So, you know, when you're in the dream, so once you're actually in the dream, trying to find that peace in that meditation. Most people talking lucid do these reality check habits, yes. So that's the point, is from now on, I'm going to work on this, and you can too. Daily, have your own reality check moments. Whether that person said when something weird happens, they tap the back of their hand. They call it the Star Trek Voyager moment. You know, the age-old pinch yourself, you know? So, find something that works for you. For me, I'm going to try looking at my hand every day. I might even consider writing awake on there. That seems a little crazy if I go around talking to people and they're seeing it says awake on my hand. I don't know what they're going to think. Part of the woke culture, maybe. Who knows? So, from now on, find a thing that works for you. Maybe it's writing awake. Maybe it's pinching yourself daily. Maybe it's finding meditation, you know, in your dreams and in reality. Maybe it's like this guy. Now, some of these you can combine. You know, this is what has to do with falling asleep. This is its own standalone thing. Whoops. This one over here is its own standalone thing. Waking up in the middle of the night is its own thing. But people are saying if you wake up in the middle of the night and then go back to sleep, you'll have a better chance of remembering your dreams and be able to control them. It might be a little quiet. I'm probably not as close to the mic as I usually am, so I might be a little quieter than usual. But yeah, it'd be great to lucid dream. I mean, I totally enforce more research into lucid dreaming. Make it into a regular thing for people. I mean, just think how cool it would be if we could teach our kids, you know, when they're babies, when kids are first learning about the world, and we could help them understand lucid dreaming. It'd be great. I wish this was something that could be taught to everybody. I think it'd be great. You know, just like I say with virtual reality, you know, it's like the closest thing we have to VR. Where's my virtual reality? Did I get rid of it? Yeah, I think I got rid of it. But virtual reality being the closest thing to dreaming, I think we can get there. Do I think babies can dream? It's the same question as do I think animals can dream? Yes, but I can't really ask them and say, hey, how was that dream? You know? But it's more than just trying to get babies to lucid dream. It's about training them to grow. It's the same thing we talked about earlier. We accept the world we're born into. So if you're a child and someone's telling you, hey, in this reality that you exist in, when you dream, you can control your dreams. You can control your dreams. When you dream, you can control them. And you keep putting that into a kid's mind, will they be able to control their dreams? Dreams are usually the result of real-life experiences being re-examined. They don't have life experience, at least not any that they can comprehend. Well, then they'll get there. You know, I'm not saying I'm trying to get babies to lucid dream. I'm trying to get the education there so they have something to build off for their future. So when they're not babies, when they're toddlers, or when they're growing up, preteens, teenagers, whatever, they're going to remember all that stuff that they learned growing up, that they can control their dreams. So when the opportunity comes in a dream, their subconscious is already there to jump in and go, hey, you can control this, you can do this, because you believe it to be so. Mind over matter. Your mind can do anything. But like most things, it takes training, it takes work, it takes effort. So if you want to lucid dream, you got to put the work into it. And it can be small things. These are all little small things to help you lucid dream. And I'd say try them all out. Pick one of these, whether it's, this one, the cheaper one. I hate this one. I hate waking up. I don't want to. The worst thing I can do is have an alarm that goes off. So I'm not doing this one. Now this one I can try. Not doing this one. These two are very similar. I'm not going to write awake on my hand, but I can try pinching myself or tapping yourself. Get in the habit. Now, what's interesting is, you could be building habits in real life too. For all you know, you're going to end up creating a tick. We're going to be going out in public, and you're going to be that guy that's just constantly having to hit his hand. And they go, "Why are you doing that?" And you're like, "Well, it's just like a tick to make sure I'm awake." And then you sound like you're crazy. Telling people, "Why do you keep pinching yourself?" Well, I'm just trying to make sure I'm awake. So, find your own way to do it that makes you seem less crazy. Now, the meditation one's good. Now, I think it's good to meditate anyway. And I don't do enough of it. I always feel like I have my own version of meditation. Like, I really love taking drives. I think really good when I'm driving. But this is good to practice in real life. And then, hopefully, you can transfer it to your dreams. So if you meditate and you get that in that regular thing, hopefully in your dreams, some part of your subconscious will tell you, hey, just sit down and meditate. Focus on everything that's going on. I'd love to lucid dream. I would love it. I'd like to work on it. So this is something I would like to work on. Lucid dreaming. It's a great topic. Why are you pinching yourself? Why are you pinching yourself? Exactly. So, if you could lucid dream, what would you do? If it's your mind, I just want, I don't know. I think of superpowers. Laser vision. I want to be able to fly. But then I hate heights. If I could actually fly, I'd be freaking out. Have I ever tried reading in a dream? Now, that's a good point. That's something to remember. Try reading in a dream. Just have tests for yourself throughout the day to say, am I dreaming? No, I'm not. And it sounds silly, but I think the more you do it, the more you'll train your subconscious to be able to recognize when you are dreaming. I don't think I've ever read in a dream. Reading in a dream seems so odd because in a dream you just accept the information you have. It's just there. It's like in a game when you have to read a quest and you have to read the info of what you're supposed to do. In a dream, you know it. You already know it. You're dreaming and all of a sudden you see a castle and you just know, I have to go in there and do this thing. And it's terrible. So that's a really good one. Because I don't think there is reading in a dream. I think that might be cut out. But what's also interesting is the mind is amazing. Our mind it's crazy. How much stuff there is coming out of here that we don't even comprehend. And it's huge, our mind. And all we have is our communication tools to get what's in here out of here. And that is a huge reason why we always end up having problems with humans, is we have this basic communication, and And if you're not educated, it's even more basic. And you're trying to express the complexities of your mind, and you're trying to get that out of your mouth. And the only thing that's coming out of your mouth is poop. And you've got all these amazing thoughts up here. It's beautiful. And it filters, and it comes out like that. Yeah, good old broccoli brain here. Now, I had a dream recently where I dreamed an entire Netflix show. In the dream, I was watching a show on Netflix that didn't exist yet. And I was watching it, and it was great. And I watched the whole show, a whole one episode, of this show. And then I woke up and immediately started writing it down because it was just a great idea. And I'm working on the script right now. I just finished The Rough a couple days ago. And that's amazing. I've had many dreams that... I remember I had one dream. Alright? I had this dream one time when I was younger that I was a dog. Not only was I a dog, but I was in the dog mafia with all these other dogs. And I'm talking like all dogs go to heaven, kind of like where there's a dog and he's, smoking a cigar. That's a dog smoking a cigar. And I remember there was this whole, I could talk to other dogs. I was a dog. And I'll never forget, in the dream, there was a female dog. And I remember in the dream being this dog, seeing a female dog and being like, whoa, I am attracted to that. And that was the weirdest thing when I woke up. And I was like, whoa, I wanted this other dog to be my girlfriend. I wanted a girlfriend dog. And I remember being a kid and waking up and just like, whoa, that's so weird. But I remember being a dog, and I could talk to other dogs, but you couldn't talk to humans. I remember it's like there was an attempt to talk to humans, and it would just come out, bark, bark, bark. Morgie, I'm so disconnected from this conversation. I never experienced meditation. I can't even sleep when I need to. Literally need 1 hour of staring in the dark to fall asleep at 1 a.m. And when I wake up, I rarely remember anything. Well, there is work you can do to enhance or support your mind in those dreams. If you want to have more dreams, try meditating. Meditating for me is just, they say meditation is like having an empty mind or something. Like, no, I don't do it like that. Meditation for me is just sitting in silence and letting your mind go. Just let it relax. Let your mind relax and see where it leads you. Interesting. Simple Thimble's the only dreams when you nap. Yeah, I was a dog in my dream, and with this other dog mafia. And then I woke up and was like, oh no, I'm a furry. I don't remember any cats in the dream. I just remember being a dog. And I just remember seeing another dog and being like, whoa, I'm attracted to that because I'm a dog and they're a dog. We only have dreams when you nap. That's interesting. Do you remember the dreams? Science Cube, good timing. Yeah, the secret's out. We've been talking about dreams. So, I can usually remember my dreams when I wake up. When I wake up, I can usually remember my dreams, but they will slip away, and I have to write them down. A lot of people would recommend a dream journal. Keep it by your bed. I don't have a dream journal. But when I have dreams that I want to remember, I write them down. Like recently I had an entire script. Like I said, I watched an entire episode of a Netflix show. Woke up, immediately wrote it down. You know what was weird about that dream was I was dreaming I was watching a Netflix show. It was one of the greatest shows I'd ever seen. It was so good. In the dream, I was still dreaming, but I woke up in the dream, and I was in another dream place, and there were people around me playing Pikmin on GameCube, and there was multiple TVs, and I'll never forget, they were going, Joey, come play with us, come play Pikmin. I love Pikmin, it's a great game. And I said no. I said I have to write down this script or I'm gonna forget it. I have to write it down. So I said, Cody, give me a pen and paper. I gotta write this idea down. So I'm writing the idea down in my dream. And then I actually woke up and was like, Cody, give me a pen and paper. I gotta write down this dream. And thank God I did. It was a great script. So, dream journal on your desktop, that's good. Something about your brain loves to purge memories by the minute. It's so interesting in our mind having to cling to an idea or a dream, you know, having to hold on to it. You know, it's like when you're trying to remember something and you can feel it slipping away and you're like, no, come back here. What was that? A great idea I had. Oh yeah, Batman versus Predator. That's a good idea. You know, yeah, I guess it depends on the person. You know, some people, I can go back to sleep immediately. So I can get up, I can write out my entire dream, and then I can go back to sleep. Guys, I can get up, I can drive to the store, I can do stuff, I can come back, and I can go right back to sleep. I'm a master at sleeping. I love my sleep. Hello, Trianon, and welcome to the discussion about dreams. Lucid dreaming. Do you dream often? Do you remember your dreams? Have you had any thrilling dreams lately? It's great to share dreams and talk about dreams. They're so fascinating. And it's interesting how negative dreams can stick with us. You know, because you could see it. You know, it's like if you have a dream about your spouse cheating on you, and the rest of the day, it's like you experienced it, and you're having to tell your mind, no, that didn't happen. But for you, it did happen. So it's interesting, that difference between reality and dreams, where something could feel so real, but it's not real. It's not a real dream. Yeah, Simple Thimbles, I've had many people be jealous of my ability to sleep. My girlfriend is one of them. She is not the best sleeper. She has trouble with sleeping. Me, I'm out. I can sleep so easily. I can sleep for a long time. I can wake up and go back to sleep multiple times. I love my ability to sleep. I love sleep. It's the best thing of the day. Not the best thing of the day, but it's great. Dream a lot. Most of them are nightmares on high school. Trianon, what kind of dreams are those? Wait, is it the usual? You show up and then you realize you forgot to put pants on. You know. Light your sleep. Dream journal has a bunch of dream smut that I hope nobody reads, and that's another interesting thing. If we want to admit some of those weird dreams that we've had, I've had those kind of dreams too, and they're weird. You know. It's so weird how a dream can make something feel so real, even if it's something you're not into in real life. For example, one time I had a dream. This is like when I was really young, and I remember I was a girl in the dream, and I was having sex in the dream as a girl. And then I woke up, and I was just like, what? Like, I could feel it and remember it, and how odd that is, because my anatomy doesn't work that way. I'm a man. And it's very strange how your dream, your mind can make that real. So strange. Thank you, Trianon. Happy to see you too. High school drama, having to study for tests, loneliness, pressure, conflict. Goodness. That is not good. Not drawing this one, no. No, I'm not drawing this one. I'm not drawing this. Hey, I've had other weird dreams where it's like, you know, you get those kinky dreams where something's happening to you. In real life, you're not into it, but in the dream world, it just works. It's the same as in a dream when you just accept the illusion, you accept the world that you're in. It's the same thing. Because I've had some crazy dreams that just, you dream it and it's like, whoa. You know, I've had dreams of being a bad person. I remember being a kid. No, that wasn't. This is not. I don't remember this was, but I remember this dream very well. And in this dream, I was a hostage taker in a house. And I remember I had a bunch of hostages and I had a gun. Oops. And I was basically bad in this dream. And it's weird because you just accept it. When you're dreaming about being a bad person, I'm not dreaming going, you know, oh my God, I'm a bad person. I'm just, it's accepting. I'm a hostage taker. I got to get out. And I remember in the dream, I didn't kill any hostages, but I do remember the SWAT team threw like gas in the window and it starts filling up with gas. And I remember in the dream, like, they started shooting, and I got shot. I got shot in the side. And I can still, it's so weird, it's so long ago, but I can still remember the pain of being shot in the side. And I remember I laid down on the ground. And these SWAT team members start coming in, and they're clearing out the place. And they're walking past me, and they're clearing the house. And it's still kind of smoky, and I'm pretending like I'm dead on the ground. And then at once I just jumped up. And just bam, 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 shot like 7 SWAT guys. I jump out the window, and then comically, in this dream, there is that classic ladder coming down from a helicopter. And I remember grabbing onto that ladder, and that's about when I woke up. And I remember waking up and being like, that was a cool dream. That was so exciting. Even though I was a bad person and I'm killing people, I know it's a dream, and that's what made it so much fun. And I've had other dreams like that, you know. I had a dream I was raped by a friend once. Relationship was never the same. Oh, that's sad, though. It's sad that a dream can affect your real world. You know, like I was saying earlier, it's the same when you have a dream that a spouse cheats on you or something. And you wake up and you can look at that spouse, and part of you feels almost a little jaded. For part of you can look at that spouse and be like, oh, you cheated on me in our dream last night. And then you're like, well, it was just a dream. And then, but to you, it feels real. So, in my dream, I like an adventure. Wouldn't say I like murder, but that was like playing a movie, you know? I remember one dream as a kid when I was being chased by this murderer with a shotgun. All right, this crazy dude has this like double barrel shotgun. Whatever. That's the weirdest shotgun I've ever seen. But he's walking around and he's chasing me. Also, why is his arm coming out of his head? Let's just draw it like this. There we go. So I had this dream that this guy's chasing me around with a shotgun, right? And it was one of those dreams where I'm moving really slow. And I always remember, like, I vividly remember there was a hill. And my house was on the hill. And I'm trying to climb up to my house to get safe from this maniac, and he's chasing after me. And who do I see sitting on top of the hill? I see my mom and my dad, and they're literally kissing. They're sitting on top of this hill in front of this house, my house, and I can't climb the hill. They're just sitting up there kissing, totally ignoring the fact that I'm about to die with the guy with the shotgun. So this is what was happening. What was crazy about the dream. So once I realized I couldn't get up this hill, let's keep him. I start running. So I'm running around the neighborhood. There's this guy with a shotgun chasing me. I remember in the dream, I saw a little girl on a bike. And she ran inside. She saw me running from this guy with a shotgun. She ran inside. And I remember there was this car. There's a car. And I'm on this side of the car. And crazy guy with a shotgun is on this side of the car. And I just remember in the dream, I picked up this little girl's riding her bike. There's a bike. And it was a little tiny bike. And in the dream, I picked it up and I threw it at him over the car, and it hit him. And it knocked him out. And then what was crazy about this nightmare that I'm having about this guy, the police show up. I remember in the dream, the police show up and they give me a big sack of money. And they're like, hey, you got this criminal. Well done. Here's this big sack of money. They took the guy away into the van. He's gone. This little girl comes out, gets back on her bike. She's happy with me. I have a bag of money. And then I woke up. And I tell you, I woke up, I felt great. I had never defeated a nightmare before. And it felt so good. I'll never forget smashing him with this kid's bicycle. Throwing it at him. Knocking him down. The feeling that I had when I was like, yeah! I beat you, Shotgun Man. Of course, I told my parents how upset at them I was that they didn't help me when I was being chased by a man with a shotgun. Yeah, we talked about how hard it is to move in a dream. How you're literally... One time I had this witch chasing me, and you're literally grasping at grass. And I remember, I could so vividly remember so many dreams trying to run away from someone, and having to use my hands to rip at grass or the ground to pull myself forward, and how you're so sluggish. But yeah, that's one dream that was a nightmare that I turned into a dream. That's very nice. It's very rare to have those. So dreams are very real and very interesting. And I think definitely we need more research into dreams. We need more research into lucid dreaming, and do stuff on your own. You know, we talked about different tactics you can do. Waking up at 1:30 a.m. 10-15 minutes, read a magazine, go back to sleep. If you can do that, do that. Some people, they wake up and they cannot go back to sleep. I feel for them. I roll on the other side of the pillow, I'm right back out again. The other one is when you're going to sleep, imagining shapes. Visualize yourself going into your dream. Visualize yourself falling asleep. This person, they said the best way they do it is they imagine a television. And they're literally going through the TV into their dreams. So if that helps, imagine that. I wouldn't recommend drugs. This
Hello,
one person
computer.
said they literally can write awake
Just use the keyboard.
on their hand. And look at it every day. They could look at this thing that says awake on their hand. Thank you very much for that follow. Welcome to the channel. It didn't tell me who followed. I missed it. Or something. But thanks very much. Welcome. Today's podcast day. This is episode 2 of our podcast. We talk about random things. I'm just pulling up. I want to be able to thank whoever followed me. Minos. Thank you for the follow. So, you know, I always recommend some sort of form of meditation. Everybody should do that. I don't enough. But I should. But, you know, maybe you'll be able to have better dreams. Maybe you'll be able to control those dreams. Because my dreams are crazy. But I'm rarely able to control them. So that's something I would like to work on, is controlling my dreams. So have your own thing that you'd like to work on. But man, dreams are fascinating. I mean, we can wonder, do cats' dreams do animal? They do. We know they do. We've all seen a cat or a dog dream, you know, when they start moving, they're kicking their legs, they're chasing something, or, you know, it's very interesting. And how do they see dreams? You know, that's what's curious too. How does an animal see a dream? Do they remember dreams? I don't know. That's another topic for another podcast, animal dreams. No time soon. So, where we can leave off here, I just want to leave off with saying, you know, think about doing some of these things daily. Make a habit out of it. Because that's the one thing us humans are best at, is we are creatures of habit. Humans, we do things because they are habitual. You know, it's hard to break bad habits. It's hard to build good habits, but you can do them. You just have to make them into daily things. So the daily things that I want you to work on is pick one of these. Pick some of this list here. Pick something to do every day to focus on knowing the difference between reality and a dream. That's what I think we should do. Because if you can separate the two consistently, if you can make a habit of knowing the difference between a dream and reality in your regular life, then you might take that into your dreams. If you can right now, every day, you know, maybe pinch yourself, maybe tap the back of your hand, maybe take a second to look at your hand and say, am I dreaming? No, I'm not. I'm not dreaming. I am awake right now. And in the hope that your subconscious will take some of that into your dream and make that a habit. And so that in your dream, you will look at your hand and go, am I dreaming? And just you asking the question might help you realize that you are in a dream. And the next step is controlling that dream. But it takes practice, just like anything. Habits. It takes practice. And that's it. That's it. That's what we've been talking about. We've been talking about lucid dreams. Dreams in general, nightmares, lucid dreamings, examples of the both. So think about that and practice it. I'm going to. And I need help. So if you guys want to ever talk about it in chat or stream, say, hey, how's your work with lucid dreaming going? What have you been up to? Let's talk about it. I want us all to have awesome lucid dreams. That'd be great. But that is it for episode 2 about dreams. Thank you so much for joining me today in our dream episode. Dreams. Whoa, let's try that again. Dreams has been episode 2. Episode 1 is just about edited. My editor Benji is fantastic. He did a great edit of the first episode, so I'm going to have that posted today or tomorrow. I have the whole episode that I will post, and then I have the edit of the highlights. So last time we talked about bathtubs, I have the highlight pretty much edited. The full is going to be on YouTube, but you can check them out there.